I think we got to talk about the 3-point contest. There's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, as you probably know, Kevin Huerter did not do very well at all. I think Tony could point out a stat. It's not the most flattering thing, despite the fact that it would be something that Kevin Huerter and the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan, have in common. What would that be, Tony? What do they have in common?
That would be posting the worst scores in 3-point shootout competition. 8 points. 8 points.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? I mean,
I care.
A contest.
No, I do.
Hey, the last guy that was in purple that was there won it, you know?
That is very true. He did. That's a great point. He almost won it this year. No, he didn't almost win it. Halliburton almost won it, huh? I did not think Halliburton was going to do well.
Well, it was between Lillard and Buddy at the end, because Buddy had 25, right? And then Lillard hit 26. Am I forgetting about a guy?
No, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
You know, again, it's not a big deal. Who cares, really? But it was there were a couple aspects to it that were kind of interesting. First of all, he was just getting just dogged on by Kevin Harlan and Draymond Green. Draymond was pointing out, he's just I think he was pointing it out for Tyler Hero. He's like, he's doing a lot of jumping, that's to tire you out. And that seemed to maybe be a little bit of the case for Huerter. But Kevin Harlan pulled out the stats and was pointing out the fact that Kevin Huerter shooting under 30% in February. And Draymond's like, yeah, he's carrying that in here with him. And they were just having some good old fun with Kevin Huerter. And, it's not a big deal, but it was kind of, I think from just an objective perspective, it was kind of funny to see him go in there and do so poorly, not make it past the first round. And yet he was the only guy that came equipped with a headband, as if he was going to work up the perspiration necessary for a headband. But I think what was even funnier was the fact that he talked to I think it was mostly the Sacramento media, but it was to the media afterwards. And Sean Cunningham of Fox 40 and Chris Tavares of he's of one of those stations. Is he? I think he's Fox 40 too.
I think he's Fox 40. Yeah.
Yeah. So him and Sean Cunningham, Fox 40, sending their finest. And I like Tavares particularly. I think he asked some good questions, but they were just really sticking on the fact that Huerter did not do well. And it was one of those things where you could tell, and it wasn't just Cunningham and Tavares that were asking the questions. All of them were kind of pointing out the fact. I mean, it was undeniable. He had a horrible run in the contest. Doesn't really matter though. But the fact that it kept getting asked was interesting because you could tell Huerter was just brushing it off. It's not a big deal. Hope I get the opportunity to do it again. But the questions just kept getting asked and asked. And I felt like the Fox 40 guys were particularly hounding him with these questions. Like Sean Cunningham was like, I don't mean to be a jerk, but is this the type of night to stay off the internet? Huerter kind of laughed. He's like, what? But all these questions kept getting asked, and you could almost see it in Herter's eyes. Like he was on the verge of asking himself, I don't know, did I really screw up? Am I underestimating how poorly I did? Am I some joke? It was an interesting. The interview went for 7 minutes. It was that was longer than some of his post game interviews. It's just he's getting asked the same question. I don't know, man. I felt bad for him. I didn't feel bad for him that he performed poorly because it's whatever. Nobody's going to remember that. But he was just getting. That's just the Sacramento media was just
laying into this guy.
Yeah, I'm geez, give him a break. But it kind of reminded me of way back when. This is before he was on the Kings, but Harrison Barnes was in the slam dunk contest in 2012 or 2013 or something, and he was going in for his first dunk, and they made this big old show. They're hooking him up with some equipment. It's tracking his motions. They're like, they're gonna upload this to NBA 2K, and you can download it and have it as a special dunk package for your player or whatever. And they're making this big thing and whatnot, and Harrison Barnes goes up and does the most underwhelming, just what you did that for the dunk contest. And just afterwards, I don't remember if it was Shaq or Chuck Barkley, but they're just they ain't uploading that. They ain't uploading that.
Yeah, it was. I remember that dunk. It was
That's more embarrassing than Kevin Huerter.
He did like a 360 with just like his shoulders in front of his body. He like just did like around the world in front of his face with the ball. It was like,
Did he screw up a couple of times that forced him to like do something really simple?
I don't think so. I don't. I just think
he just did something bad.
I think he was just like nervous. I gotta make this, and so he's like, "I mean, just do like the most generic dunk I'll make for this." What if he missed the dunk? They uploaded it. Harrison Barnes missing.